The conservative group Turning Point USA is hoping to open a chapter on campus. This comes after Governor Glenn Youngkin donates $100,000 to start local groups across Virginia.
Virginia's election season is underway, and the race for governor is going to be historic. Both gubernatorial candidates are women. I have more on what you need to know for voting season.
Volunteers with the Belmont Food Pantry are giving back to the community each week, one meal at a time. VCU InSight starts right now. Hello, welcome to VCU InSight. I'm Olivia Clark. Breaking news, the government is still shut down after Democrats and Republicans fail to come to an agreement to extend government funding. It's been almost a week. This is affecting hundreds of thousands of government workers, with many facing furloughs. They will not get paid until Congress comes to an agreement and the shutdown ends. But President Trump has threatened mass layoffs of federal workers as well. However, essential workers like TSA personnel will stay on the job despite not getting paid. However, there have been thousands of flight delays and cancellations because of shortage of air traffic controllers. Democrats are demanding healthcare subsidies, which Republicans say they will not budge on, but according to the Associated Press, are willing to possibly talk about it later. In response to the assassination of conservative critic Charlie Kirk's organization Turning Point USA says there has been a surge of groups registering on campuses across the nation. I dug deeper into learning more about the impact on college campuses in the Commonwealth. Turning Point USA is a nonprofit organization that Kirk created in 2012. The program advocates for conservative politics on high school, college, and university campuses. According to its website, there are 800 chapters on college campuses across the country. According to Axios, Turning Point USA has received 32,000 inquiries for new chapters in the days after Kirk's death. As this organization is rapidly growing within the state of Virginia, it's also making its way onto VCU's campus. Flyers have gone out at VCU for students to attend an interest meeting this month. The last time the chapter was active was in 2023, according to its Instagram page. Chapters have been started in or are holding interest meetings at University of Virginia, Virginia Tech, Old Dominion University, and Liberty University. People came to a TPUSA rally at Virginia Tech held days after Kirk was killed.
All gathering together tonight to talk about a turning point. A turning point.
Governor Glenn Youngkin is donating $100,000 to the organization as it would help new chapters to form within the state. With groups possibly forming across Virginia campuses, administration at VCU came out with a public statement saying VCU is obligated as a public university to ensure a strong commitment to the First Amendment and Virginia law. The First Amendment prohibits prior restraint on speech and taking adverse action against individuals or groups, whether affiliated with the university or not, based on the viewpoints of their speech. This freedom of speech also encompasses the rights of those who present differing viewpoints. According to a message website, organizers say VCU is set to have their Turning Point USA group operational in the upcoming spring semester. A nonprofit that monitors and defends free speech is giving VCU an overall grade of a D- when it comes to the First Amendment. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression ranks VCU 79 out of 257 universities in the 2026 College Free Speech rankings. The report cited the university's ranking dropped dramatically following the school withholding degrees of pro-Palestine protesters. It also cited an event where a pro-life speaker could not hold an event because of heckling and pushing. Students placed VCU in the bottom 25 for both administrative support and disruptive conduct. It's election season, and in November, Virginians will elect its first female governor. There are also several seats up for grabs in the General Assembly, including 100 seats in the Virginia House of Delegates. VCU InSight reporter Blake Jokins is talking to students and faculty about the upcoming election.
The 2025 Virginia governor election is set to have the most diverse ticket in state history. But what do VCU students feel about voting in this election?
I'm planning to do so because it was like a really big point in my AP Comm Gov class that Voting in every election matters, not just the primary one, so I am planning to read up on that before I vote this year.
Freshman Angelia Lamb isn't the only student who feels voting is one of our duties. Poli-sci major Joseph Burton voices similar opinions.
So people should just get out and vote. I actually don't care who you vote for, but you just got to vote.
Thank you for welcoming candidates.
It's a diverse ticket on both sides. 2 women are campaigning for governor. According to her website, Democratic candidate Abigail Spanberger is platforming for affordable housing costs, reproductive rights, lowering healthcare costs, and helping Virginia's workforce. For Republican candidate Winsome Earl Sears, her website advocates for reducing the cost of living, being tough on crime, and does not support trans athletes competing in their sports with their chosen gender. VCU Votes, a non-political organization, aims to increase voter turnout at the university.
I would say our dream goal is to have every VCU student turn up at the polls for every election. And so a lot of those programs are aimed at heading in that direction.
I spoke to Assistant Director of Civic and Community Engagement, Kelsey Jones, on how this election will affect students.
A lot of VCU students should be interested in the election because VCU is actually run by a board of visitors that are appointed by the governor. And so that board of visitors determines your tuition, policies on campus.
VCU Votes holds events across campus, mostly advertised on their Instagram page at VCU Votes. Early voting has already started in select locations in each county. If you'd like to register for both in-person or absentee ballots, you can do so on the Virginia Department of Elections website online. Reporting from Richmond for VCU InSight in the newsroom at VCU, I'm Blake Jokins.
Good news. For some community college students, transferring to a 4-year university just got easier. VCU InSight reporter Alexis Washington has details on a new VCU dual admissions program.
To kickstart your future, it starts with filling out this online application from Reynolds Community College. After completion, you should end up here at VCU with an undergraduate degree. The partnership with Reynolds Community College and VCU is called the Next Step VCU program. Next Step stands for Navigating Educational Excellence Together. Admission and Reynolds credits are guaranteed to transfer to VCU, making the transition towards a bachelor degree easier. According to VCU News, VCU will waive the application fee for Reynolds students and give them a VCU ID, granting access to VCU library services, campus facilities, and cultural events. To see if you're eligible for the program, visit vcu.edu. Reporting for VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Alexis Washington.
Dominion Energy is asking state regulators to raise electricity rates in the area. And for many Virginians, that means they may be paying more every month. VCU InSight reporter Dakota Griffin has more on what you need to know.
For Veronica Rivlin, turning down the air conditioning helps decrease her energy usage.
We try to be as green as possible.
But now, Dominion Energy wants to ask for more, with a rate hike for all electricity customers in the Commonwealth. For many college students like Rivlin, it's about being able to afford school and keep the lights on. A rate hike wouldn't help.
If I'm paying too much, I'm paying too much. Using less energy is not really an option.
The State Corporation Commission began the hearings for the electric company's case on September 2nd. Members of the community voiced their concerns, saying they just can't afford it.
I'm already stretched thin as it is. Dominion's proposed rate hike would be devastating for my monthly budget.
This is what witnesses kept talking about. An electricity bill that they say is already too high. Now the commission is left to decide, do they listen to the public or do they hear Dominion's push for more? According to the SEC's filing, Dominion added close to $9 to the average monthly bill. This was done in July through an interim increase. If approved, the total will rise to nearly $11 a month, beginning in January after the SEC's final say in December. The plan shows future capacity costs could push the total impact to around $21 a month. Dominion argues the money is necessary to cover rising fuel costs and to keep up with the growing demand of Virginia's electricity usage. The SEC is set to decide in December, just as Virginians start turning up their heat for those winter months. Reporting in Richmond for VCU InSight in the VCU newsroom, I'm Dakota Griffin.
The SEC will continue hearings and review testimony before making a final ruling in December. Higher rates could take effect as early as January if approved. Hundreds of families are receiving help from a local food pantry. I went to the Belmont Food Pantry in Richmond to learn more about how this operation has been making an impact in the community for over 20 years. Dozens of volunteers pack ready-to-go bags and hand them out to families in need of groceries. Each week, more than 650 families come through the Belmont Food Pantry. It's organized by the Belmont United Methodist Church and has been serving the Richmond community since 2004. Days leading up to the pantry, volunteers organize donated food and pack it into bags for pickup every Friday.
The Belmont Food Pantry has many partnerships with community members to help place food and other goods. For example, the nonprofit Feed More donates over 700,000 pounds of food each year.
On Fridays, Belmont also has a closet which allows for neighbors to shop for free, including clothes, small appliances, hygiene items, and more. Everything in the closet is donated by local Richmonders. If you're seeking ways to give back to your community, visit bcrsrva.org for more volunteer information. The celebration of Pride continues in Richmond with hundreds of people attending Virginia Pride Fest. VCU InSight reporter Blake Jokins is at the Midtown Green where the celebration was held.
VA Pride Fest is the most attended festival for any LGBTQ individual in all of Richmond. Right now, we're listening to a bunch of cover bands and other queer artists have come across all over Virginia to attend and to sing for us today. Just behind the Science Museum, the main stage is booked with a variety of artists from drag queens and RuPaul Drag Race alum Saucy Santana, local queer bands, and dance groups. Right now, there are hundreds of vendors all across the VA area that are selling their wares and pride colors. Local LGBTQ advocate groups like co-host Diversity Richmond are also here to offer community outreach and support. This festival is wrapping up a week-long celebration event for queer people in Richmond. The last day for Pride Fest is going to be a closing ceremony at River City Roll. This is Blake Jokins for VCU InSight in the newsroom at VCU.
The 21st Annual Richmond Folk Festival is around the corner. VCU InSight reporter Trey Brown is on Browns Island to tell us about what to expect.
It's not set up yet, but music, food, and culture will soon take over Richmond's riverfront. In a couple days, Browns Island will transform with multiple stages and events. The Richmond Folk Fest is one of the city's most beloved traditions. Folk Fest will take place October 10th through the 12th, and if you love music, dance, crafts, storytelling, and food, then this event is made for you. Admission is free. This year, there are 6 stages featuring more than 30 artists from around the world, all showcasing music and dances from different cultures. The experience doesn't stop at the stages. There will be a marketplace selling handmade crafts and food vendors. While the event is free, organizers do ask to help keep this tradition going. Look for the volunteers carrying orange buckets and asking for a donation. For the full schedule the festival has to offer, visit richmondfolkfestival.org. Reporting from Browns Island for VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Trey Brown.
For those who love to thrift and want to support small businesses, the Swap Meet RVA is the place for shoppers to do both. VCU InSight reporter Blake Jokins is at Shockoe Bottom with more on what you need to know.
Right now, I'm in Shockoe Bottom by Main Street Station, where right now, Swap Meet RVA is happening. Hundreds of vendors all across Richmond and even the state of Virginia are here to sell and share their wares for everyone. The Swap Meet is held twice a month with over 70 different businesses. Those include clothing, curated vintage, jewelry stalls, wellness and spirituality booths, and food vendors. Organizers say they want to reflect the River City's eclectic spirit. Started back in November 2021, the Swap Meet RVA has always been an important part of Richmond's fun post-pandemic. The Main Street Station was chosen as the site for the RVA Swap Meet due to its historical significance to Richmond. The station was built back in 1901 and has been moving passengers and commerce trains through the area ever since. Swap Meet RVA is held twice a month in either Monroe Park or the train station parking lot. This has been Blake Jokins for VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU.
This weekend is the perfect time to do yard work or take your dog for a walk. Friday will be partly cloudy side with high of 67 and a low of 47 degrees, while Saturday will be warmer with a high of 70 and a low of 52. Thank you for watching. Our reporters will be working on stories across the Richmond area. You can catch the next edition of VCU InSight on October 30th, right here on YouTube. For VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Olivia Clark.